Hi students, good morning. In this video, we are going to start our fifth poem, The Secret of the Machines by Rudyard Kipling. So let us see about the author, Rudyard Kipling first. Right. So Rudyard Kipling was born on December 30, 1865 in Bombay, India. He was educated in England but returned to India in 1882. A decade later, Kipling married Caroline Balstier and settled in Brattleboro, Vermont, where he wrote The Jungle Book during the year 1894, among a host of other works that made him hugely successful. Kipling was the recipient of the 1907 Nobel Prize in Literature. He died in 1936. So Rudyard Kipling was born on December 30th, 1865 in Bombay, India. He was educated in England in the United Service College. Okay, so he was educated in England in United Service College, but he returned to India in 1882. Okay, so after returning to India in 1882, he worked for a newspaper called The Pioneer. Okay, so after returning to India in 1882, he worked for a newspaper. A decade later, a decade means a decade equals 10 years, a period of 10 years, right? A decade later, Kipling married Caroline Balstier and settled in Brattleboro. So where is Brattleboro? It is in Vermont, where he wrote The Jungle Book during the year 1894, among a host of other works that made him hugely successful. So in 1894, he wrote The Jungle Book along with the other works, okay, so which had made him very highly successful. So some of his works include poem If. Okay, so he had written a poem called If. So in this poem, all the lines will begin with If. So he had wrote it in the year 1910, and also he had wrote one more poem, The White Man's Burden, and some other short stories like, so The Jungle Book is a short story, and one more short story is Kim. K-I-M, Kim, written by him. Okay, so Kipling was the recipient of the 1907 Nobel Prize in Literature. Okay, so during the year 1907, he had received a Nobel Prize in Literature, that is at the age of 41. So he died in the year 1936, that is on January 18th, 1936. So he died in the year, that is Jan 18, 1936. So this is about the author, poet Rudyard Kipling. Now let us get inside the poem. So, The Secret of the Machines by Rudyard Kipling. So it is a memory poem. So already in this unit we are seeing about machines. Okay, first unit we have seen tech bloomers, and now we are seeing the poem The Secret of the Machines, and also the supplementary will be also related to the technology. So everything is related to the enhancement in the technology. So let us get inside the poem. So the poem deals with the problem of modern technology and automation. In the beginning, the reader gets informed about how machines are produced and what kind of treatment they need. Afterwards, the machines explain how they can serve humanity. The poem ends with the statement that machines, although capable of great deeds, are still nothing more than creations of the human brain. Okay, so the poem deals with the problem of modern technology and automation. It deals with the modern technology and automation. So, automation means technology by which a process is performed with minimal human assistance. ஓகே, ஸோ ரொம்ப கம்மியான ஹியூமன் ஹெல்ப்போட பண்ணுறது தான். தட் இஸ் எவ்ரிதிங் வில் பி டன் பை த மெஷினரி. தே நீட் ஒன்லி a minimal assistance of humans. That is called as automation. Automates it by doing by itself. Okay, so the poem deals with the problem of modern technology and automation. In the beginning, the reader gets informed about how machines are produced, in what kind of treatment they need. So in the beginning stanza, the poet tells us how the machines are produced and what kind of treatment, that is what kind of process they undergo and what is the output from the machines, everything. Afterwards, the machines explain how they can serve the humanity. So after that, the machines are explaining how they are helping, how they are serving the humanity. The poem ends with the statement that machines, although capable of great deeds, are still nothing more than the creations of the human brain. So finally the poem ends with, so even though the machines are capable of great deeds, deeds means great works, doing many great actions, doing great works, great jobs. Okay, so even though the machines are capable of doing great work, they are still nothing more than the creations of the human brain. So human செய்ய முடியாத வேலையை மெஷினரி செஞ்சாலுமே, okay, they are just created only from the human art, that is from the human brain. Only human, even though machines are capable of doing all the heavy works which humans cannot perform, they are just the creations of the human brain, that is they are produced only by the human beings. Okay, so this is how the poem goes on. Now let us get inside the poem. So this is a memory poem. You have to memorize the poem. So totally this poem contains 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 stanzas. Let us see the first stanza. So we were taken from the ore bed and the mine. We were melted in the furnace and the pit. We were cast and wrought and hammered to design. We were cut and filed and tooled and gauged to fit. Some water, coal and oil is all we ask, and 1,000th of an inch to give us play. And now, if you will set us to our task, we will serve you 24 hours a day. We can pull and haul and push and lift and drive. We can print and plow and weave and heat and light. We can run and race and swim and fly and dive. We can see and hear and count and so we can see and hear and count and read and write. But remember, please, the law by which we live. We are not built to comprehend a lie. We can neither love nor pity nor forgive. If you make a slip in handling us, you die. Though our smoke may hide the heavens from your eyes, it will vanish and the stars will shine again. Because for all our power and weight and size, we are nothing more than children of your brain. Right? So let us see above the first stanza first. So we were taken from the ore bed and the mine. So here all the we refers to the machines. Okay, so we refers to the machineries, that is machines. We were taken from the ore bed and the mine. So where they were first taken is, okay, they were taken from the ore bed. So first they were taken as the minerals from under the earth. Okay, so directly we are not getting the machines by digging the earth, right? So first we will be getting the ore, then many processing will be done. After that it will be made into a machine after a very long process. So we were taken from the ore bed and the mine. We were melted. Okay, so after taking from the ore bed and the mine, what is done? They were melted in the furnace. So furnace means It is, see in your book back it is given, an enclosed structure in which material is heated to very high temperatures. Okay, so blast furnace you might have studied in your physical science, right? So an enclosed structure in which the metals are heated at very high temperatures. Okay, that is called as furnace. We call it as blast furnace. We were melted in the furnace. So the ores were melted in the furnace at very high temperatures. And the pit. So what is mean by pit is, it is a large hole that is made in the ground. Okay, a large hole made in the ground. So எதுக்காக பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னா, they will be placing the ores inside it and they will be heating it at a very high temperature. So the ores which were dug out from under the earth, that is from the ore bed and the mine, were melted in the furnace and in the pit. Then afterwards what is done is, we were cast. Okay, we were cast and wrought and hammered to design. So after melting they were casted means they were made into a shape and wrought. Okay, அதை என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, மறுபடியும் அடிச்சு அதை என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, notice that அந்த எப்படி how they will make it into a shape, heat பண்ணிட்டு என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, they will be casting it, அது என்ன ஷேப்க்கு கொண்டு வரணுமோ, ஸோ அந்த ஹீட்டோடு எடுத்து என்ன பண்ணுவாங்க, அதை they will be casting it and they will be rotting it, they will be bringing it into the needed design and hammered and அந்த சுத்தியால் அடிப்பாங்க இல்லையா, that is hammering. Okay, so they will be casting, rotting and they will be hammered to design. So to the needed design they will be hammering it. And then afterwards they were cut and filed. Okay, filed means they will be categorized under different shapes, or they will be categorized in different what is that, they will be packing it in the different boxes or containers. Okay, we were cut and filed, they will be arranged, they will be cut and filed and tooled and gauged to fit. Okay, so for the needed measurements, for needed length, for needed weight, according to the machineries they will be gauging it. Okay, so finally they will be cut and filed and tooled and gauged to fit. So whatever the fitting is needed, whatever the measurement is needed, they will be finally they'll be fixing it. Okay, so first how the machines are made is, they'll be taken as ores from the ore bed and the mine. They'll be heating it at a high temperature in a blast furnace and in the pit. Then they'll be casting, rotting and hammering it to bring to the needed design. And finally they'll be cut and they'll be packed under different categories and they'll be tooled and they'll be measured in the needed measurements to fit in the machineries or to fit it as a machine. Okay, so this is what's said in the first stanza. Now let us go to the second stanza. Some water, coal and oil is all we ask, and 1/1000th of an inch to give us play. And now if you will set us to our task, we will serve you 24 hours a day. Some water, coal and oil is all we ask. So again here we refers to the machines. So what we human beings ask for different things like varieties of food, varieties of clothes, varieties of entertainments, etc., etc., right? But what the machines need is, what is the need of the machineries is, they just ask for some water, some coal and some oil, whatever it is, kerosene or petrol or diesel or whatever fuel it is. Okay, they just need some water, coal and some oil for their running, for their working. Okay, and 1/1000th of an inch to give us play. Okay, and 1/1000th of an inch to give us play, and we need only a little place to okay, so I need just a fraction of time to make them to run. So ஒரு machine run பண்ணனும்னா what we have to do, we just want to switch on it, is it or not? That's all, it will start working. So that is the meaning of and a thousandth of an inch to give us play. And now if you will set us to our task means work. Okay, we will serve you 4 in 20 hours a day. So if you give us some water, coal and oil for our functioning, and if you just spend a fraction of time to switch on us, and if you are setting us to our task, so எங்களை ஒர்க் பண்ண சொன்னீங்க அப்படின்னா we will serve you 4 in 20 hours a day. So we will work for you all the 24 hours in a day. Okay, so this is what said in the second stanza. So for example, what are all the machines which run by water? So washing machines they need electricity, and if we put water they will wash our clothes. Likewise generator, they need some fuel. So all the machines run by fuel and water and electricity. That's all, right? Okay, now let us go for the third stanza. We can pull and haul and push and lift and drive. We can print and plow and weave and heat and light. We can run and race and swim and fly and dive. We can see and hear and count and read and write. Okay, so in this stanza, the poet Rudyard Kipling is explaining about all the works done by the machines. So what are all the works done by them? So they can pull, they can haul, they can push, they can lift, drive, print, they can plow, they can weave, heat, light, run, race, swim, fly, dive, see, hear, count, read and write. So all these tasks are done by the machines. Okay, so the pull, the crane can pull, right? So we can push, the lift, drive. So printers can print, plow, tractors can plow, weave, power looms can weave. So heat is given by many things and light is given by many things. Run, the machines can run, they can race, they can swim, they can fly, aeroplanes fly and dive. Everything is done by the machines. So with the help of machines we can see, hear, we can count, read and write. Computer is doing, it is doing all sorts of work. So in this stanza the poet is telling about the different types of tasks done by the machines. Okay, let us go for the next stanza. But remember, so here the poet is giving us a caution. So caution means warning. Okay, but remember, please, the law by which we live. So we are also having a law. Okay, so remember the law by which we live, the rules by which we live. We are not built to comprehend a lie. Okay, so we are not built to comprehend a lie. So comprehend means understand. So we cannot understand any lies. So பொய்யா ஏதாவது சொன்னீங்கன்னா we cannot understand. We refers to the machines. So the machines cannot understand any lie. Okay, lie na என்ன பொய் சொல்றது. Okay, we can neither love nor pity nor forgive. So we are machineries. We cannot show any human emotions or feelings like love, pity or forgive. Okay, because we are machines. We don't have any emotions or any feelings like love, pity or forgiveness. If you make a slip in handling us, you die. So what will happen? So if you are handling us carelessly, okay, if you are handling us carelessly or if you are not handling us carefully, what will happen? You will definitely die. Okay, so this is what said in this stanza. But remember, the poet is asking the readers to remember the rules by which the machines run. Okay, so the machines cannot understand any lies. So we cannot play with the machines. Okay, so because they don't have any human emotions or feelings, they cannot understand the love, they cannot understand the pity, they cannot understand the forgiveness na enna mannikkiradhu. Okay, if you make a slip in handling us, you die. So if you are handling us with a mistake, okay, so if you are not handling us carefully, if you are handling us with a mistake, what will happen? You will definitely die. So remember the law by which, or the rules by which the machines work. Can you understand? Now let us see the last stanza. Though our smoke may hide the heavens from your eyes, it will vanish and the stars will shine again, because for all our power and weight and size, we are nothing more than children of your brain. Okay, right? So though our smoke, so the machines, the smokes emitted by the machines may, so we believe that heaven is up above the sky, right? So though the smokes emitted by the machines may hide the heavens from our eyes, it will vanish. What will vanish? Here it refers to the smoke. So vanish means disappear. So it will vanish and the stars will shine again. So all the smokes emitted by the machines may disappear very shortly, and again we can see the stars shining in the sky. Because for all our power and weight and size, we are nothing more than the children of your brain. So we have already seen in the warm-up part. Okay, so whatever is the heavy task done by the machines, they are just the creations of the human heart. Okay, because machines are not miraculous than the human brain. They are just created. Whatever is the heavy task done by the machines, they are just the creations of the human brain. So whatever is their power, whatever is their weight, whatever is their size, okay, however it is, they are just the creations of the human brain. Okay, so this is what said in the last stanza. So in the beginning, the poet has said us about how the machines were created or manufactured. So in the next stanzas, the poet tells us what are all the works done by the machines, and finally the poet says that even though the machines are the great in their power, weight and size, they are just the creations of the human brain. Okay, so this is about the poem The Secret of the Machines by Rudyard Kipling. So the entire poem is a memory poem, right? So I think you can understand everything. Meet you in the next class. Thank you.